At a cafe on a bright plaza, most customers sit back, feeling the warmth of the sun, enjoying their cold drinks. But not Tim. He barely notices the sun, doesn't really taste his coffee. For him, this corner affords a good view of the city. Under the teeterings of passers-by, in the arc of the shop girl's hand, she displays tea to an interested gentleman, Tim hopes to see clues. You might notice that the door is in the back. We're going backwards. That night at the cinema, fictitious adventurers lunge implausibly across the screen. The audience here is transfixed. Some are patrons of the cafe, now sitting excitedly in the plush chairs, eager for another new flavor, for distraction from the boredom of their easy lives. Other seats hold fishermen and farm workers, hoping to forget their toils and rest their hands. Tim is here too, but he is scrutinizing the gloss on the lips of the screen, measuring the angle of the plume of the distant helicopter crash. He thinks he discerns a message. When the cinema closes and most of the audience strolls down the plaza to the south, Tim goes to the north. People like Tim seem to live oppositely from the other residents of the city, tide and riptide flowing against each other. Tim wants, like nothing else, to find the princess, to know her at last. For Tim, this would be momentous, sparking an intense light that embraces the world, a light that reveals the secret long kept from us, that illuminates or materializes, a final palace where we can exist in peace. But how would this be perceived by the other residents of the city, in a world that flows contrary-wise? The light would be intense and warm at the beginning, but then flickered down to nothing, taking the castle with it. It would be like burning down the place we've always called home, where we played so innocently as children, destroying all hope of safety forever. I wonder what this princess is. Again. Oh! Okay, so time flows backwards. That explains things. Oh, I get it. Wait. Wait, he's from the other canon now? He's from the other canon now. He's from the other... What? I changed the nature of time. He came from one and now the other. It still counts as a ladder. But only slightly. But only slightly. And because he flows backwards, he never actually dies. He is immortal. Sentenced to walk forever in these cursed halls. I think I want to kill another one. I need two, because I need a second one to jump off of. So it's like you gotta set up the past, you know. Just casually setting up past events. In the present. I can still get killed by them just fine, though. That is so weird, and I'm terrified of it. Braid. I've got you. Now, if you remember... So if you get all the stars, this scene plays out in linear time. if you go backwards. Tim only just made it out alive. Ah, that's kind of cute. That heroicness is really just measured in linear time. I don't have my ring. Oh, the cannon is gone, so there's no more timeline for them to go. That's so weird. See you later, buddy, I guess. Oh, she's looking at me. She's like, oh, I hope you're okay, Tim. Why would she be doing that unless I was a boss fight? Well, Lisa, that's a lot of modern art. Oh. Oh! I'm not allowed to. Oh. Oh! What is going on? I can't do anything. I can only go backwards in time. In which Tim's role is reversed, as I mentioned. Oh, there was a ladder there he wanted to use. That's what the block was about. Oh, I wanted to trap her too. Tim wanted this princess quite desperately, it seems. I like this. I like this whole, like, ooh, ooh. She's waiting behind the wall, hoping he doesn't show up. Such an interesting way to handle, like, the final event. This inversion of its own tropes. I love how Tim is running backwards, and he does this cool jump, because he's just that cool. Man, backwards Tim has the bigger jump here. He's got the better leggies. Oh, he doesn't need ladders. He has weak legs, but he can jump real high. I should have waited. Would have had opportunity. Help! You might notice that there's no lock on that door anymore. How do you climb with one hand? There's no text. There is no text. How strange. The boy called for the girl to follow him, and he took her hand. He would protect her. They would make their way through this oppressive castle, fighting off the creatures made of smoke and doubt, escaping to a life of freedom. The boy wanted to protect the girl. He held her hand, or put his arm around her shoulders in a walking embrace, to help her feel supported and close to him amid the impersonal throngs of Manhattan. They turned and made their way towards Canal Street subway station, and he picked a path through the jostling crowds. Manhattan, by the way, is the name of the nuclear project, which I think is one of the reasons why people think that that makes sense. Because it's called the Manhattan Project, and the Manhattan Project is it's the nuclear bomb stuff. And so one of the reasons why people think that that theory is... I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia. He worked his ruler and compass. He inferred. He deduced. He scrutinized the fall of an apple, the twisting of metal orbs hanging from a thread. He was searching for the princess, and he would not stop until he found her, for he was hungry. He cut rats into pieces and examined their brains, implanted tungsten posts into the skulls of water-starved monkeys. He scrutinized the fall of an apple, the twisting of metal orbs hanging from a thread. Through these clues, he would find the princess. See her face. After an especially fervent night of tinkering, he kneeled behind a bunker in the desert. He held a piece of welder's glass up to his eyes and waited. On that moment hung eternity. Time stood still. Space contracted to a pinpoint. It was It was as though the earth opened and the skies split. One felt as though he had been privileged to witness the birth of the world. Someone near him said, "It worked." Someone else said, "Now we're all sons of bitches." Yeah, why is it a theory? Because that's just like on the fucking nose. That's like quotes from that time. The candy store. Everything he wanted was on the opposite side of a pane of glass. The store was decorated in bright colors, and the scents wafting out drove him crazy. He tried to rush for the door, or just get closer to the glass, but he couldn't. She held him back with great strength. Why would she hold him back? How might he break free of her grasp? He considered violence. Oh, wait, no, I get this. I get this. He cannot say that he understood all of this. Possibly he's more confused than ever. But all these moments he's contemplated. Something has occurred. The moments feel substantial in his mind, like stones. Kneeling, reaching down towards the closest one, running his hand across it, he finds it smooth and slightly cold. He tests the stone weight. He finds he can lift it, and the others too. He can fit them together to create a foundation, an embankment, a castle. So the puzzles we done. To build a castle of an appropriate size, he would need a great many stones. But what he's got now feels like an acceptable start. Oh, these are unaffected by time. Okay. But I want to see if it matters if I collect all the red books in order. No, I don't think I can skip this. It's I don't know what it's about. Maybe those are the stars or something? Braid. Strange story. Anyway, those are the stars. They're gotten through like weird esoteric stuff and you get a special ending. I recommend you look it up. Have some fun with it. But that was Braid. If I recall correctly, that's the game. As far as the game is concerned. We had an epilogue after all. What awaits us? But a next adventure another time.